Interesting. Cuckoo, cuckoo, cuckoo.
There's Gary King here at La Forêt Studio. I wanted to do another. These things just keep coming in all the time, so I wanted to do another little video about something that popped up. Actually, I saw it yesterday, but this is from 4 days ago. And this is again about checking out, doing a little bit of research. It takes 5 minutes to actually find out if any of these things that we keep seeing are even real. If the people involved in these situations are part of the club or whatever you want to call it. Right, so this came up the other day. Now, I just watched a thing with Max Egan, and as I said in a post I just made, there's a couple of things that I don't sort of buy into, what he believes and what he doesn't. But that's the individual thing. That's nothing against Max, right? But anyway, he was talking about, what's going on, what's been going on for years since he started in 2008, and also what is on the cards. Now, again, if you take my and Serge's 10% rule, it don't look good. It does not look good, right? So, as I've said before, these are only my opinions. I should really do these as soon as I think about them, because once you start thinking too much, makes it more difficult to get the point across. But so anyway, this came out the other day. I'm using the old screen record again. So this is on EU Parliament Live. We've also got, where else is it? Brussels Watch, so on and so forth, Europa.eu, and so on. And this is about a certain lady who has done documentation to show that a certain thing that has been administered to millions of people is not good. Now, we said this back in the day, right? And I always remember saying to my brother, old Serge, I said to him, what they're going to do is they're going to come up with this scenario and they're going to point a finger at one group of people. So anyway, in this video here, I watched as much of this as I could put up with and stand, because I just can't stand these clowns here, any of them. All these people here are crooks, right? So anyway, this says here, Naomi Wolf von der Leyen lied about a certain thing's safety, EU Parliament in shock. Well, that is a ridiculous statement in the first place, because those people in EU Parliament and so on, they are all part of this. They all know what is going on. Maybe the janitor doesn't know, or the person who works at the coffee shop. But these clowns here, this lot here that you see in suits, look, he's looking at his phone. He's looking at his phone. All these people know exactly what's going on. And I would surmise that this lady here and this one here, who I just mentioned, they also know what is going on. Now, the question that I wanted to ask is, when you look at this, first off, you start seeing this is now starting to appear on more mainstream type channels, right? Look at these knobs with their masks on, right? I mean, really? They keep pushing this nonsense, right? So anyway, the point of this is, so you had your Ireland, where they released all these papers. We all knew no one was going to jail, right? Okay, it's all by design. This is to distract people. And then, of course, you got your old P. Diddy. That was all by design. No one's going to jail. I've said this 1,000 times. Well, not 1,000 times, as I said in my last one. But no one's going to jail because they all work for the same organisation. It's that obvious, because if you look back through fake history, nobody ever goes to jail. And there's some other things that have gone on over the last few days which are absolutely ridiculous, but we won't get into that. This is the thing that interested me, because I was saying to my dear old mum and to Neil, old Serge, a little while ago, what they're going to do is they're going to pull one of these companies out and they're going to blame them for all the things that are going on. Now, I watched through this. Like I said, I skipped through it because I can't stand watching these people. And I looked at it and I thought, right, well, why is nobody bringing up any governmental authorization, right? They don't mention that. They mention this particular company. We won't use the name because their tube will probably remove it. So whatever. So nobody mentions the push. Nobody mentions this. Nobody mentions that. They're just mentioning this one particular company. So when you click over to this and you go, right, okay, let's have a look at the 91 Divot authorizations, and you look at the map, as you can see here. Well, what about all these companies then? What about this one here? We know all about this charade here, right? Okay, and then you got this one here. I don't even have a picture. Oh, they do have a picture, right? Look at this. What about these then? Look at this one, Sputnik. Have you ever heard of that one before? I mean, come on. So trying to keep this a little bit tongue-in-cheek and not offend anybody. Well, actually, I don't give a shit, to be totally honest with you. These are the ones that are inactivated, and these are the ones that are active. Now, as Max Egan said, you can't develop something for something that doesn't exist in the first place. And like many people, we don't believe it ever existed. I don't know how they did it, but it didn't exist. It was all bullshit, right? But anyway, you look at this here. Well, what about these people then? Why are you picking on this lot? But what about this lot? So what are you saying? This lot's okay, but this lot's bad? No, this is all contrived nonsense. It's, like I said, it's exactly the same as the island stuff. Nobody is going to jail. Nobody is going to be held accountable for, because they all work for the same people. They all work for the same lunatics that want to remove as many people as possible so that they can control what's left over. My opinion, and some others. I'm not going to poke holes at this woman, right? I mean, she's supposed to be 62, 63. She's looking pretty good, right? But I'm not going to poke holes at this person and pull them out for whatever. But you don't have to look very far, right? So, first off, born to a certain family, right? As Max said, the little hat wearers. Right, okay, there you go. Right, now, look at this. Political consultant Wolf was involved in the president. There he is, 1996 re-election bid, followed by Mr. There he is, right? You're in on it. I'm sorry. If you work for these people, you're in on it. They're all in on it. This is the point. There is no such thing. These people are laughing at you, right? They're in on it. Okay, so you've got the old Matt's not nilk here. Now, what was his so-called wife saying a little while ago about, we're going to fire you. We're going to class you as criminals if you do not take whatever. This person here, who is telling people what has been done to them, worked for these people here. Now, in a lot of these little reports here, says some good stuff that all makes sense. And you keep scrolling down, whatever. It's quite funny. Talks about pornography and how men have been sort of driven away from real women. Well, but that's a story for another subject. No disrespect to you proper girls out there, but it's a scary scenario, right? But anyway, so it goes through all these different things here. You know, as you can see it, class as a conspiracy theorist, whatever, right? But all you have to do is take this. That's all you've got to do. If this person here is speaking out, right? Look at these bods. Look at this bloke filming it, right? If this person here is speaking out, telling you what has been done to you, right? Now, let's just say, for argument's sake, people actually watch this. There's a lot of people that took this who are now crapping their pants because they're thinking, oh my goodness. Or they're turning around saying, what load of old rubbish. Well, this is an EU Parliament, right? Now, this criminal, right? And I wrote on here, look at this, 16 hours ago, I wrote on here, and as always, nothing will happen, all part of the scam, just like the P. Diddy in the island. Well, you know the rest of the story. I don't get one thumbs up. Look at this one here. Robbie Boy, 33. Ha! Van der Leyen should be in prison. 1.6 thousand thumbs up. What a load of rubbish. Should be in prison. None of these people will go to jail or be held accountable for. Forget your Nuremberg keyboard warriors. Nobody will go to jail because all these people work together. All of them. Because we're not talking about huge amounts of people here. You know, worldwide, we're talking about a small core group that will benefit from this. Here it is again. There it is again, talking about the same thing. That was 2 months ago. Nothing is going to happen. They all knew what was going on. Right, and it is funny as well. The other thing, like I said, I'll miss a lot of these bits out, but this person's an American. Why is this person at the EU? What about what's going on in America then? Or doesn't that count? This is all set up to draw people's attention away once again, and I can guarantee you there are a lot, if anybody watches this, actually watches, you know, what people are saying here, look, has brought fear into the people, right? They knew what was going on. That's why they're all part of the WEF. That's why they all go to the G7, right? That's because they're all part of it. And if you cannot understand that at this point, like Max said on his video, if you can't understand who these characters are and what their main job is in life, then you are never going to be able to understand what is being done to you and why. And I'm not saying that, you know, we live in a terrible world of this, that, and the other. You know, we live very well here, and we're very lucky. There are a lot of people that don't, and whatever which way you look at it, these people are not on your side. That goes for this woman here, this one here, whoever that is, right? They are not on your team, because it is these people under this Europe Parliament and the EU over here in Europe that are doing this to people in the first place. They're the ones who cause all the conflicts, all the wars. They're the ones that allow so-called boatloads of young men to arrive on beaches and let them in, right? There's never any old people, is there? There's very few children. It's always, right? It's all there to distract you and deceive you and to create aggression between normal people that would never do anything to each other, right? But anyway, that's what I wanted to say about this. This is a joke. This is an absolute joke. Just read up on this person here. You know, had to bring up the little hat wearers. You know what I'm talking about, right? No disrespect, dear, but you know, you're one of them. You know you are, right? That's why you're still there and haven't been removed. It says all the right things. There's some good stuff here, right? You know, some good stuff, but says all the right things, but also is a defense of Julian Assange. Really? Come on. And I know people change as time goes on. So perhaps they then wake up to certain things, but they're all part of it. And I can assure you, if you really took some look into the family of this person, you would find that they have connections with military and everything else, just like Chris and Dom on Sheep Farm say. So that's what I was going to do with this one. Just count this one out. Oh, of course, as well, went to Yale. I mean, you just couldn't make it up. And again, they're all put there to play a part in this game, right? And that is it. Don't trust any of these people. No one's going to jail. So again, you keyboard warriors out there, still talking about, like, there's that other guy, what's his name? I can't remember his name now. Giggles all the time, you know, who's got millions of followers, talking about the island and everything. What was his name? I can't remember his name now. But anyway, no one is going to jail. None of these people will be ever held accountable, including this horror here, this character. And the sooner you realise that, and as Max said, and I'm only quoting him because it was a good video, is this is all about working with people around you, your community, and trying to get people aware of exactly what's going on and why. The time is starting to run out. Now, I hope that we're all wrong. I really do. I hope that we're wrong. But there's too much evidence out there now that says that we're not. So anyway, again, as always, hope everyone's doing good. Play some good music, you know, play some good music and energize yourselves. And just remember, like I said, these people are not on your side, plain and simple.